Good morning, everybody. Sorry about that. Good morning, everybody. Hope you're doing okay. I know I'm taking this really slowly. I apologize for that. Turn down the music. Turn up my volume. And let's get started today. I think today we're going to be doing a couple of different things. One is we're going here. My mic's been really sensitive lately. Hi, Al.
No.
Welcome along.
You greet me cheerfully.
Well then, fuck you. What are you doing here?
Dreadlord Owl, and I demand your respect.
My liege, I dare do declare that it is an offense to nature itself not to greet one such as glorified as you.
You are forgiven.
What's up, dude?
Writing, in case I do end up having to run D&D today.
Oh yeah, D&D night.
Yep.
Well, if it makes you,
Assuming that Jake's on board.
well, if it makes you feel any better, I'm still Magic Boy right now, but I'm completely just fire.
Let me know if you need help. I'm gonna keep writing until then.
Yeah, no problem. I'm just
I've,
going into a small dungeon area thing.
I had a bunch of little puzzle pieces of lore and whatnot read up for this region, and a lot of it's starting to like connect. A lot of those dots are starting to come together. Like, oh, okay, well, I have all these little ideas for like villains of the past and ancient history and whatnot, and secrets and the like. And here's how I can connect them all, that kind of thing.
Oh, Deathblight! I got Deathblighted. Fuck me.
Excellent.
God, that's so cool though. Good though. So cool looking. There's a steak of
Oh, the
Marika
big
around here?
wormy boys.
Yeah, big wormy boys.
I see him. Yeah, stream's a bit behind. All right. There we go. What was I doing? There's still some stuff I wanted to write. That's right. I've named the Lich now.
I don't think I've been. Yeah, I haven't been down here. This is one of the locations I've been meaning to go back to. Wrath of Gold. Ooh. I guess that's like Wrath of God. Run away quickly. I'm so used to not using torrent because I play with you guys a lot that I forget I have a horse.
Yeah, no. Who needs horses?
Morning, honey.
Horses are for losers. No, torrent is fun though. If you get good at it, you can cheese stuff with them.
I found a nice little cheesy world boss that you can only access by torrent, and his lightning strikes hit below you when he casts it from a shield.
I'll take your word for it. It sounds vaguely familiar, but I don't know if I found it or not.
Yeah, he's a horse dude. This is my horse. My horse is amazing. Oh, I forgot to switch back to my sword. Yay, another word. I gotta mute for 1 second. Give me 2 seconds.
No. Oh, here's what I need to write. Okay, there we go. What else is happening in modern history? Now that I have all that old stuff.
Sorry about that. I'm back.
No. You are unforgiven. I am angry.
Why are you angry? Don't be angry. Don't be mad. Get glad.
Because you apologize.
Oh, because I apologized?
There
Oh, what?
we go. All right.
I found some snaky snail boys.
Seeks mages. How the fuck do you spell the dragon's name? That's the fun thing about writing dragons. Is you come up with a cool, complicated dragon name and then you forget how to spell it.
My favorite ones are Velasquir. And it sounds just like how you would say it.
Mhm.
How do you think you spell it?
I don't know. I've already forgotten it.
Velasquir.
Velasquir?
Mhm.
There's probably like a Y in there with that skier, but otherwise the rest probably sounds right.
No, it's an I.
It's an I?
It's an
Alright. Not
I.
even like an A-E-R?
No.
Come on, man. What are you doing with your dragons?
His name's Velasquir. He's the best boy. He's a puppy dragon. He's the best boy ever. Then Gormand. Gormand was a fun one. Gormand was great. He was a bronze dragon that didn't know what it meant to be a dragon. It was the best thing ever because he joined up the party thinking he was just a giant man. And the party's quest was to make him realize he was a dragon. It was great. He was memeing in the deep, dude. Oh.
In the deep blue sea.
I don't understand why this is a ranged battle.
Quite pleased with myself. There
So that's not gonna work. I need arrows.
we go. No. Arrows are for chumps and losers. Got him. I don't think I ever figured out how to get up there. Because you can see there's an item on the ledge behind him, so there's gotta be a way to get up there.
Yeah, I think it's a
And
hidden wall.
yeah, and that's usually how you kill him, is you just fucking slap him in the head with a melee weapon. I guess that's fair, you can just try and shoot him down with a bow.
I think the last one I saw up here, I actually bled to death. I mean, poison.
Villainy. What
Yeah,
other
okay, so I'm in a safe spot
instruments
now.
do I have? Oh,
Oop. Attack pattern. The rocks are randomized, that's right. Zip zip.
Sippy, sippy.
I have 54 arrows. I can do this all day.
Captain America.
But I'm out of poisonous
I've already
mushrooms.
covered Lord Braxton. Oh. I should probably... Hmm.
Killed him. Yeah, it looks like there's a there's like a little hidden passage up there.
Up, 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 up. No. Hidden passages are for losers. Where are my notes? That's... Okay, there we go.
Arsenal charm. What the hell is an arsenal charm? Oh, it's the +1 version. Okay, I'm an idiot. All right, so there's a path here, then there's a path down this way. I thought about turning on invasions this morning.
No, invasion's bad. Great Jar should be better than that, unfortunately.
It is
Yep.
much better.
Oh, that's right. Stream is behind. My information is no longer relevant.
uh, is this the boss room?
Okie dokie.
Oh my!
That's good for a summation of the timeline for this area. And also serves the purpose to tell me, like, how the dwarves, elves, and humans came to this area. The crystal boyos are a bit annoying.
That yay! Now I can get +3s.
Good. I've answered quite a few questions.
Hmm?
Like, where are the modern day descendants of the triumvirate?
Uh, ooh, hiccups.
Because I'm just like, well, I've alluded to the fact that they could still exist modern day. I should probably figure out where they are. In case the party ever goes back to that dungeon and actually cares about it.
Are you talking about the one that we tried to do the other night?
Yeah. Oh,
Oh,
don't get me wrong. Just because, like, that. Never mind. I'll shut my mouth.
you don't have to, dude.
Spoilers.
Oh, spoilery.
Well, I can dance around it. Uh, they are historical figures that may pop up again. Same with the cultists. I don't know how clear I made this in session, but they have an uncanny resemblance to the ones depicted in the dwarven mural on the wall. That mural was made hundreds, if not thousands, of years ago, and yet here two people wearing the same mask sit in this dungeon that is clearly a dwarven dungeon and not an elven dungeon. If anything, the dwarves were foes of these elves.
I'm happy I got a giant topaz.
Yeah, I'm also happy that you solved the pangram puzzle. I was worried about that.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I was like, okay, all right. There's multiple ways in, right? Either they can hunt down someone from the one of the key dwarven bloodlines. They could pass this feat of strength, or they could pass this I guess feat of cleverness. The panagram puzzle.
Feat of skill.
Yeah, and that's how they're gonna get into this dungeon. And then the people that had had beaten you guys to the dungeon, the elf cultists, you were like, nah, fuck this shit, and then you just left. It's like these guys hurt.
They did.
I
Oh,
think
dude, it fucking hurts so bad. Okay, there has to be like a hidden wall or something that I can go with. I don't understand this dungeon.
no, you beat the boss.
Well, yeah, but there's that other area. It looks like it's like a separate intake.
Could be you get there from another dungeon.
Oh, I didn't think about it like that.
I certainly never found it, but then again, I didn't rub my face against all these walls. I was just like, oh yeah, I'm sure I'll find it, and then I didn't.
They got cheeky with their fake walls and shit like that.
Yeah, in these mining areas, they tend to have a good chunk of them, but in like other areas, they are few and far between.
Hold up.
There can be no holding. I'm done holding. Still, I'm pleased enough. You guys solved my puzzles. You guys got some good starting treasure between the gem and the reward from the Reeve. So, like in terms of adventuring, you guys are on your way. I think that's good progress. And then you also got a little bit of information about this strange elvish cult and this ancient dwarven structure. I can't complain. So my challenge for myself is where to next, and I think I know. You guys could think around in the town for a little bit, maybe uncover some lore in other locations, but I think I know where you guys are gonna end up heading, so I'll prep that.
Oh, sweet.
And assuming that gets done in time, then yeah, we'll run D&D. If not, I'll be like, ah, fuck it. We'd already rescheduled anyways. We'll just do next week. I mean, there's all sorts of other things you could explore. Heck, you guys could just fucking leave. Just like, I don't want to deal with this bullshit. Let's head north,
All
or let's head south.
right.
There is content in both those directions.
All right. I think I know where I'm gonna go to next.
But if you guys want to just stick in this local area and solve their problems as they come up, then yeah, that works. I think I definitely do want to do it a bit more old school, where there's a calendar and I keep track of time and be like, okay, well here's the villains and here's when they're going to accomplish their various goals. So then like the players can take downtime, but of course downtime risks moving the clock forward. I
Yeah.
guess risk isn't the right word for it. Downtime will just straight up move the clock forward, and usually I think downtime is worth it. Crafting potions, finding rumors. In some cases, that's how you're going to locate these dungeons and get information on these problems in the first place.
Yeah. Most of the time, most DMs don't like actually recognize that as a thing, and it irritates me
Mm.
like to no end. Because I try to include it in like any of my long campaign sessions. That there has to be a couple of sessions where it's just y'all ain't doing anything important.
Yeah,
Like
yeah, exactly.
y'all are legitimately not doing anything important
We'll see
whatsoever.
what happens early in this session, because it sounded as though Leo was implying he wanted to take downtime, but I'm not sure. You guys also need to find a buyer for your big fuck off jewel. There's definitely some stuff that you guys could do in terms of taking downtime immediately. But if not, like, you guys could probably fairly easily hunt down another rumor. or go with one of the ones you already have, or just fucking go off wandering. If there'll be a hex map available now, you could just go for a random hex and just what's here.
We shall go here. Oh, you completed the hex
I
map?
yeah, I had a much larger scale one, and I decided, you know what, that's not remotely realistic. So here's what we're gonna do: is I went with 6 mile hexes instead, and it still ended up larger than anticipated, but that was because I decided that, you know what, I want to A, have Ranagog on this map, and then B, also have that dwarven town near the ruins where the dragon is, in case you guys capture a necromancer and want to take him down that way. Um, so, of course, if you guys decide not to go south and in that general direction, there's the mountains with various threats to the west, and then north there's a grand desert. Passing beyond the grand desert, you get into the territory of a lot of slavers that call the Blood Harbor their home. Um, you could also hug the mountains and eventually make your way through them at Morwin's Pass if you wanted to go north. Um, if you go around the top of the mountains at the far north, you would risk incurring the attention of a known brigand lord. Um,
Mm, okay.
so there's certainly threats and bits of intrigue to the north, and then of course there's the dragon and like a giant fucking rainforest and shit to the south, and mountains and hills and all sorts of other little forests and whatnot. And most of those have things written for them.
Most of them.
Yeah. Worst case scenario, that's where rollable tables come in.
Oh yeah.
Sometimes the world generates its own lore, and I'm not above that.
You know, that's actually a really fun thing to do. Semi West
Yep.
March campaign.
Yep. I mean, that's kind of the entire point of like building a hex map, in my opinion. Because it's just like, no, if you have every single little thing detailed out, you might as well just like trivialize exploration and just let the players go wherever the next bit of content is, right? So the entire point about hex map is that some of that world is unknown, some of that world is randomly generated, that kind of thing.
Hi guys.
Hey Leo.
Hey, Leo.
Crimson Seed Talisman? What are you?
So Derek,
No.
I sent you a like short version of the changes. In my server, I put up the video,
Mm.
which is like an hour long, of like all the racial changes.
Oh,
An
for
hour
The
total.
D&D?
recreant monk.
Yeah. It's like over an hour long, but it has all the changes, and I watched it last night. And there's some definitely good changes. It's the few changes that are bad aren't necessarily as bad in context because everyone's movement is now 30 feet or more. Our Cockrider don't have 25 base movement speed anymore.
Oh,
And
okay.
all movement. There's a weird thing. I'm not a big fan of this, but they've done it to everyone's speeds. Every race that has a fly speed is now equal to their walking speed, and every race that has a swim speed is now equal to their walking speed.
I don't like that because it makes
I
the
don't
monk
either.
version of them very appetizing. There's also the mobile feat, which I believe increases movement.
Like,
Movement
don't get me wrong.
distance.
I'm also not a big fan of that change.
Yeah.
But there is like also all unarmed strikes, like all the racial melee attacks are now all considered unarmed strike, and they are all 1d6 rather than 1d4 now.
Okay. I mean,
Which
to be fair,
cool.
that's a good buff, yeah, because like people weren't using them. Even monks weren't really using them for anything more than flavor.
Well, it especially now that it gives like if you are like I love the idea of role playing and having your people be captured and having to get out of situations without their gear. So
That's
you
fair,
know
yeah.
all of a sudden, instead of going
Wizards
and
having to
having
scrounge for material components because they don't have a wand.
the fighter no longer having his rapier, and
Yeah,
now having to use his claws to do 1d6 rather than 1d4, which would have
yeah,
been previously if he had a natural weapon, which they're no longer calling them natural weapons or whatever. They're just calling them unarmed attacks now. And
good.
yeah, they cleared up a whole bunch of stuff for specificity's sake, and then changed some wordings on other stuff.
Good, yeah, because natural attacks and unarmed attacks, and like whether or not an unarmed attack does scale with monk stuff or not, like that kind of stuff was all kind of like nebulous and down to DM interpretation.
Mhm.
So if we got some rulings on that, that is very nice because
Yeah.
hot damn, we needed some rulings on
Well,
those.
I don't know how much the rulings have changed. Like, there is, as I said, there is some good stuff in here.
Yeah.
They've taken away all of the racial bonuses for stats as well.
Why?
Wait,
Because
racial
now
bonuses on stats? What? Why?
the stat bonuses on races, essentially the design philosophy was we felt that it was locking people in too much into picking a specific race because they wanted to play a specific class. Which fair enough.
Oh, they're
Fair enough.
not wrong, but the easy solution is you just don't do it. Like
No,
you
but
just be a good player and just be like, you know what? No, I want to play
so
an Aarakocra
now
fighter. I don't care if it's better as a monk. I want to play an
but
Aarakocra fighter, and then you
so
just fucking
now
do it.
now everyone gets either a +2 and a +1 or 3+1s.
Okay.
Everyone. So they're changes.
Including the ones that previously just had 2+1s.
I believe so.
Okay, that's
Because they've changed other things about the races as well. Like they've changed quite a bit. But I have been fascinated by these changes. There's some really interesting shit in there.
Yeah, I'm sure that a lot of them are good, but
Mm.
I don't know. I'm very cautious about some of this stuff.
They've
That
also
being
changed
said,
the
even if like the
lore.
balance is off a little bit, it's 5e. It's not known
They,
for being the most balanced thing anyway.
they've also changed the lore. There's no more cultural traits to creatures. So if something was learned, it is no longer learned unless, and if it is being kept, it is now kept as a like intrinsic feats are now like magical essentially in nature. Like they're gifted mystically rather than culturally, because they were saying like it doesn't make sense if you're like every race also now has common. There's like if you're and one other language that it makes sense
I
to the
mean,
character.
I think the grunge was like the only race that didn't start out with common.
Yes, but every race starts with common and one other language that makes sense for that character, not for that race. So
Okay,
if
so just
if
because you're a
you're
dwarf doesn't mean you speak dwarven now.
yeah, if you
You
were a
might
dwarf
have
that was
been raised
raised by
amongst elves. Yeah.
yeah, you would know common and elvish rather than common and dwarvish. So it's an interesting change. I don't hate that. I think that it does allow for
It fits with like how I guess the modern day culture of 5e has developed, right? It's a lot
yeah.
more inclusive and accessible, and they want to like let people be creative and whatnot. I do kind of like that old school idea of like, no, your dwarves speak dwarvish, your elves speak elvish, that kind of stuff. And I do like the idea of that being baked into like the material that the players are beholden to as well. But like I get it. That clashes with like the modern day design of like freedom, woo, to like a
Well,
ridiculous extreme.
no,
Have
well,
they
the thing
gone
is
too
like,
far yet? I don't think so, but
but the thing
it
is
does worry me.
because it has to be like the DM gets a say in it as well. Like it has to be logical for your character to have that language.
That's fair.
So, if somebody was like, "Well, my exiled elf who at the age of 12 ended up going off and getting involved with a pack of hobgoblins," it's like, okay, so they know common and they know elvish because they were 12 by the time they joined up. You'll have to take that as an extra thing. Like, you need to take like whatever fucking other language is like an extra thing. Fuck off. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean to be fair, you could just pick up goblinoid from your fucking
Yeah.
background. Your background usually you have some not the skill slot, the fucking tool or language slot. You can
Yeah.
just freely swap stuff around there.
They've completely changed how the elven trance works now. Not completely, like it still has the whole thing of not needing sleep and all. But remember you were talking about the whole idea of having people being able to change out proficiencies?
Yeah.
That's part of the trance now.
Oh, good.
Yeah, so elves have got an even better version of Trump. Anyway, um, they kind of wanted to tie it to the lore behind
I
it,
mean,
where
to
they've
be fair, elves weren't a very powerful race. They were kind of boring. Like the trance was their
they're
big
still
thing.
humans but better.
Yeah.
That's the thing. I like the main reason I hate them is because there's nothing interesting about them.
I
That's
don't
why
know.
I hate them so much.
Humans, but better in terms of flavor, yes. In terms of like mechanics, I don't know, man. Variant human in their feats, very nice.
Once again, that's taking variant rather than just human.
That's fair.
That's the problem. Hey, do you know what the variants for elf are?
I mean, your various sub races.
Sub races are gone now.
Oh,
So
so there's no
now,
more wood elf, high elf, drow, shatter kai,
so some of the
sea
ones that
elf.
were sub races are now just races in themselves, and then other ones are like they're stuff that you choose in your character creation. So it is slightly different still, but it's like what's it called, like background stuff, like, or whatever. But yeah, they're kind of they've changed a lot. They've changed a lot of stuff, and it's fascinating.
Yeah, I'll look into it eventually. For right now, I'm content with just using the old content. I don't see
Yeah,
the need to like redo characters and design yet.
no, the main thing, like, takeaway from it is it's fine to run the older stuff, but mixing and matching is a risky maneuver. Um,
Mm.
I think that the Aarakocra changes. I get why people think Aarakocra was busted. Oh, concentration-free
I'll
flight speed,
I'll leave that
which,
up to you if you
whatever.
want to swap in the new Aarakocra
No,
rules or keep the old stuff. Because I honestly don't think the old stuff was overpowered. I think
no, I
people are
don't
just
either.
whiny babies.
Agreed.
I honestly think that Aarakocra Monk now is far stronger.
Yes.
The Aarakocra Monk now, because you can do flurry of blows and stuff, and you get 2d6 attacks then. You know what I mean? Like, you're getting what is it, like 3 unarmed attacks in one turn, and that's 3d6 rather than 3d4, which means the average damage is going up by 1 each.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So so that would be your average damage is going up by 3 per time you take that action. So it's like, no, this is a substantial early game boost, I should say. Even with just regular attacks, going from a D4 to a D6,
Yeah.
when you're all about punching people as a monk, you know?
I have a -4 in lightning resistance.
I guess that's fair. Like, if you super care about early game balance, yeah, I can see people being like upset with things getting a fly speed. Where it's like, oh, wizard doesn't get it till level 5 with the fly spell, and it's
Well,
like, yeah, sure, whatever.
it's not just the fly speed, it's actually more to do with the fact that it's concentration-free flight, which is
Yeah.
the bigger part of it.
Like,
It's
I'm
like,
not saying it's not powerful. Like, effectively, like concentration free, a 5th level ability.
I mean,
Like,
fuck,
just
imagine
out
if you
the
had
gate. It is good.
concentration-free flight on a race that actually was good in other ways, didn't it?
The problem is that as cool as flying is, it's situational. Like, don't get me wrong, yeah, it can break your dungeon if you're a DM and you don't think about that, or if you just are making a DM that realistically the people making the dungeon wouldn't have designed for.
Absolutely traumatize your players, because if they're abusing flight, you just put them into a dungeon where it's really dark, all the enemies have dark vision, and the Aarakocra doesn't. So the Aarakocra
Yeah.
has to rely on people using torches, because if the Aarakocra's flying around in a dungeon with a fucking torch where everyone can see him a mile away, they're probably going to fuck
I
him up.
mean, to be fair, like, are you having problems with a PC with an early game fly speed? Yes. Have you tried using enemies that use ranged attacks? Have you tried putting your players in buildings with ceilings?
Yeah.
Like, it's just that fucking easy. I
Yeah.
don't understand why people are complaining about it.
Especially consider, like, for some reason people, they
Or just
really
like a
think that
large enemy that can jump, or that has like a 10-foot reach, right? It's just that
You
easy.
know, don't get me wrong, you do get into the realm of being an absolute bastard if you decide to take an Aarakocra
Yeah, like
warlock.
if you're deliberately trying to, oh, I was about
No,
to say
no, no.
Master DM is in, like, if you're deliberately trying to counter your flying PCs and like you never allow your Aarakocra player to have fun or to have that flight feel useful,
So
then that's a
no,
risk.
no, no.
But
As a player, if you go with an Aarakocra Warlock, because you can just fly around blasting them with Eldritch Blast constantly, just constantly flying around sniping them from the air, just being a
I
dick.
mean, is it just a matter of they can blast back?
Yeah, but you get into the position of like, oh well, they're trying to be clever and they're taking cover, and it's like the cover doesn't matter. I'm above them. Bow. I'm just going to fly over here and then start taking out their rear line defenders while you guys charge in the front. So they have to make a decision: deal
Yeah.
with the one
And I
Aarakocra or
think
the other
that's
guys are
fine,
going
because
down.
sometimes, like, they just succeed. That strategy just works. That player gets to feel powerful and good. And I think that as a DM, we should let them feel powerful and good. That there's nothing necessarily inherently bad about that. But every now and then, yeah, just fucking give the enemies ranged attacks. Give them some way of downing the flying warlock. Like, there's not a problem with that.
All you have to do is give them literally anything to deal with, and it's like no longer a big problem. Oh, but they're using it to solve puzzles and shit like that. It's like, stop
So,
making shit puzzles.
yeah, it's just like either A, that's fine, that's a valid way to solve your puzzle. Why? Because you designed it that way. Or B, like, just design your puzzle such that flight is not the solution. It's just
Yeah.
that easy.
But yeah, no, they've also changed any of the like racial, do you know, like racial spells and shit, and the that you get like cantrips and shit that you get once per day kind of stuff, or once per short rest and you get your shit
Oh
back.
yeah, the spells, yeah, not cantrips, but yeah.
Um, yeah, they've basically changed all of that, so now you can do it based on your it's per proficiency level, and they're reset on long rests. So you get to use them more times between rests, but you can't just short rest to get them back anymore.
Okay. So they
Which is
come back on
interesting.
a long rest, but multiple times a day.
Yeah, it's based on your
Now that's
proficiency.
just a straight buff for a lot of them, because I believe a
Yep.
lot of that casting was just once per day period, and it comes back on a long rest already. I don't think
Plus,
there's a whole lot of them came back on a short rest.
plus any of the spells that you know that way, you can also now use even after the number of proficiency uses, you can now use them with your spell slots.
Hmm. That is a very good addition. I do like that. That you
Yeah.
can start using these other racial spells with your slots, because that wasn't a thing before. Like that.
Well, some DMs would still run it that way previously because it made sense, but
Yeah,
yeah, now
it
it's actually
does.
in the
But
rules.
yeah. I mean,
So
ultimately,
there
it
is
comes down to the
some,
table, right? Because
yeah,
just like, is this an actual spell that your person innately knows and thus can cast it as a caster, or is this just something that your race is capable of that we are simulating through spells, right?
yeah.
So, like for
So
example, the Earth Genasi has no real reason to know the spell Pass Without Trace innately. It is just a simulation of it being able to meld into the
yeah,
ground and influence its terrain. So it makes more sense that it's not a spell that it knows; it's just an innate racial trait that's being simulated by a
yeah.
spell, that kind of thing.
But yeah, they've tweaked that now.
But if they want to just fucking let Earth Genasi caster start casting Pass Without Trace just with second level spell slots, like I'm down to clown. That's great. I
They
like that.
they changed. I think it's Water Genasi's spell has changed now into an acid one rather than what it was because the spell that they originally had wasn't in the PHP.
Yeah. But
So
it
it's
was
now
like in
like,
a little sidebar on the PDF that it was released in. Like it wasn't a problem. People knew what it
yeah, but
was.
this is because of a republication. Like they're with this new publication where they've put everything together, all 33 races or whatever together.
Hmm.
I think they decided to keep it to something that wasn't separate because originally it was like create or destroy water or something, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Which
I don't
I
know what it
personally
was.
prefer, but now it's an acid based one, it's like acid spray or whatever.
I like the
Um,
spell Create Water.
create or destroy water is a really fun one.
I have mixed emotions about like stuff like Goodberry and Create Water and whatnot, because it kind of trivializes survival mechanics, and it's very hard to work around unless you just like homebrew that. Yeah, no, it doesn't work in this region or in this setting or whatever.
The an interesting way to tweak it, for at least for create or destroy water, is that the water is not necessarily pure, and they're taking a risk if they drink it. So it's
That
still
works.
perfectly usable as a
The
tool.
other way I rule it is that they only work if the surrounding region could easily provide that resource.
Well, like with
So if you're in like a wasteland, then like you're not your good berry won't function because there's not a lot of like natural sources of nutrition around. Or same thing with water in like a desert, that kind of thing.
yeah, like there is things you can do.
Yeah.
By the way, Az, do you want to summon us in or anything?
But otherwise, rules is written
Derek's-
like no. That just sorry, go for it.
Derek said he was rating, and I'm just doing hero dungeons.
Okay, because I'm actually in the game if you want me. Did you
Yeah.
get the bell bearing that you're supposed to get? From
Yeah.
Altus? Okay, good.
Yeah, I let us let me know if you need help to let me know. But until then, I was just gonna finish writing,
Yeah.
because we might have D&D tonight, so I should finish that.
So but yeah, I definitely think some of the changes are going to be fun. Fun little changes and tweaks. I think it's not as bad. Like there's been some real uproar over Aarakocra getting nerfed and the
It doesn't sound like it got much of a
removal of
nerf.
tactics.
It sounds like it got buffed, honestly.
It got nerfed if you're not playing a what's called
Monk.
monk. If you're playing anything other than Aarakocra
that's
monk,
fair.
it's just a nerf.
I don't know. Like, I'd still consider that overall a buff because now that it's not pigeonholed into Dex and Wisdom, now it's not directed as much towards Monk. Now you can more easily say, no, I want Strength and Con, and I'm gonna go make an Aarakocra fighter. And I think a fighter with a fly speed could be a fantastic option. That sort of things, or like what you said before with Warlock, right? You can be like, okay, no, I want Dex and Charisma because I'm gonna go and be this flying, dexterous Warlock caster. Like,
By
I
the
don't
way,
know.
do you want to know the dumbest thing that they've done because of the wording of the fly speeds now? Do you want to know what's really stupid about it?
Yeah.
If you get like magical boots that make it so you can run twice as fast, you get like a 60-foot movement speed, your flight speed would then be 60 feet.
I found lightning bolts.
Because
Huh.
the rules, anything that will affect your running your walking speed now affects your flying speed or your swimming speed if you have a swimming speed.
I mean, I don't know.
Now, unless
I could see some DM's house ruling that doesn't work.
yes, if a DM wants to
I'd
house
say,
rule it, that
it comes down to
based
the
off-
nature of the boots, right? If the boots augment speed just in general, great.
Well,
if like they're supposed to like specifically affect
this is
walk
where
speed,
this is where it's like rules as written. If you're wearing something that boosts your walk speed, it would boost your flying speed. However, I think most DMs are probably going to have it based off of your base fly speed, not fly speed enhanced by magical objects.
yeah.
Because that's something that you can see being very abused because there's a
To-
lot of
to
ways to
be-
improve movement speed.
To be fair, like boots of flying and whatnot, like are magic items that exist that most parties get access to anyways.
Mhm.
So like if someone gets like a decent fly speed, it's not necessarily the end of the world. Like there's plenty of tables that's already a thing at.
How to fuck with your Aarakocra? Give everybody a magic item that lets them fly like an Aarakocra.
It's like, yeah, and you're not special anymore, are you, little bitch?
Aarakocra,
You
you
could call
also
it,
get one of these too.
You could call it the Aarakocra pinion, and just give it to everybody else. So when they fly, they have to look and act like the Aarakocra in order to fly.
No, they look like a parody of the Aarakocra that's in their party.
Yes.
It's basically Aarakocra in blackface.
Yes. More racism.
I haven't actually seen a whole lot of racism in D&D aimed at Aarakocra.
That's interesting. I have not. Most people just avoid it, not just because like it was a taboo race at a lot of tables, but because like they're tricky to come up with lore for. Because the lore for them is usually pretty fucking ambiguous. It's why like for my setting, I've just been like, okay, you know what? No, they were just created by this goddess, and then like we've workshopped it together and put together pretty good culture for them, in my opinion.
Yeah, like, but that, like, when you and me get together and start, like, fucking brainstorming shit out, we always come up with good shit.
Yeah. But, like, I only felt so comfortable doing that because it's just like, oh, they don't really have good established lore. Like, do they come from the elemental planes? Are they elemental beings, or are they, like, natural beings? Did a wizard make them? I don't fucking know.
I've always liked the idea of they were furries who just went a little too far.
furries who went just a little too far.
Don't think too much into that, as you're not gonna like what you come up with.
You mean feathers?
No, they were furries. They were into like foxes and shit, and they went a little too far, and they ended up getting turned into bird people as a punishment. It was one of those, you know, be careful what you wish for. I wish I could be my animal.
Oh,
Aha,
by the way,
okay.
I think I figured out how I want to rule the lost people of Bialba and their rattlers, the little skeleton snake boys. I think that I'm going to make them a parallel to the Yuan-Ti, because I
Okay.
just realized that like the Yuan-Ti have these lizard and snake adjacent servants that are like a lesser imperfect form, and
Oh,
then you've got like your more humanoid superior form. So I think the
uh,
superior form will be the one that's missing, and the rattlers we see are like the remnants of that lesser form that's been
you might
enchanted
be happy to know
in the like.
Yuan-Ti are completely changed now. They've gotten a general nerf, but like Yuan-Ti pureblood isn't the thing anymore.
Oh, good.
There's just like Yuan-Ti, and I think it's to do they've kind of settled on the lore now that the Yuan-Ti are not a naturally occurring race. They're like essentially ones that are a
I'm
magical
pretty sure they
monstrosity.
were artificial. Yeah.
Yeah, but they've really set like locked in that idea now, and you can be a small or medium one. That's no longer specifically medium one, so you could technically be like a gnome who turned into a Yuan-Ti now.
Okay, I like that.
But yeah, they've nerfed down a lot of their shit to the point where now they're probably not going to be just like despised by every DM.
Fair, yeah, because I hate them a lot. At least as a player race. As a DM, I love them. Their lore and culture and whatnot is fantastic, and like they'd make for great villains.
I've only played them one time, and I really enjoyed it because I was playing a Yuan-Ti pureblood warlock.
Yeah, no, I was there. That
And
was the one where
it
I
was
got
fun.
turned to stone.
Yeah, it was fun. I actually felt like, holy shit, this is really powerful.
Yeah.
And it was very fun. And you getting turned to stone, it's not my fault you couldn't tell that thing was a cockatrice.
I just like it's a chicken, and it's like I like chickens.
In all fairness, I couldn't like it would have been too metagamey if I had said don't go in there that's a cockatrice, because like
Yeah. I also wasn't expecting the DM to like that early in the dungeon have just like a creature that can take you out of the dungeon immediately.
oh yeah, a creature that not only can it take you out of the dungeon immediately, it can do that without having to do anything other than just looking at you.
Yeah, exactly. Like it was. I'm not saying DMs can't use cockatrice. I think that like most stone creatures, or creatures that like effectively have a save or die effect, that you need to like foretell that and foreshadow that. Like have there be like an NPC that says, "Be careful not to go to XYZ location. Adventurers haven't been coming back from there. There was a rumor has it that there's cockatrice or something like that living there."
Yeah.
Like, give them the chance to like.
Are you
know
fucking
what they're
kidding
getting
me?
into.
How long
Yes,
does
I am.
that breath fucking attack go?
Another interesting change is races with like magical resistance. It is now not magical resistance. It is specifically like a spell resistance rather than just general magic resistance.
Okay, so what does that change?
It is not going to affect anything that is not a magical spell. So any other magical source that is in the game will not be affected.
Oof, yeah, stream just caught up to Az dying to the dragon. That sucks. He was like one hit away.
He really was, and he just goes, you know what? I'm gonna use my big fuck all life breath and just go, mine. Ow.
Yeah, I think you can roll out of it.
I was hitting my button.
Sometimes. It depends on the frame the stagger hits you at.
Yeah.
Because if the stagger hits you perfectly, it will actually like panic rolling will not get you out of it because you'll be staggered when you're trying to queue up the thing and it won't go off.
Yeah. No, there's a few other janky bits like that in this game. Like Elden Ring's great, but it's not perfect.
No, like the funny thing is, it's probably the engine works better than ever before, but also is completely broken. Like I couldn't complete the Morn Castle thing because the guy just didn't appear where he was supposed to be.
I've also run into that problem.
Do you want to know what happens?
Yeah, what?
He falls down below and dies.
Oh.
And, well, he didn't exactly die in my world. He got killed by wolves afterwards he fell down.
That didn't even fucking hit me, and it's like, herp.
Yeah, I was doing the Morn Castle thing last night because I'm trying to put off doing Stormvale Castle because I fucking hate Stormvale Castle.
Yeah.
Stormvale Castle does not feel like just design, like world design wise, doesn't feel fun. It doesn't feel like an early game area. It feels there's so many different ways that you can go, and like the combat for the most part isn't too difficult there, but it's just such a fucking expansive area for how early in the game it is. And then you get to other places later on that have rune bearers, and it's like, oh, this is just way more direct and easy to understand.
You know, if you just want help with that area, let me know though. But I did go and clear it on my own.
The Stormvale.
The hill leading up to what's his nuts?
Well, I've killed Margit, and I've got to the entrance of Stormvale Castle.
Yeah, I
I've
went and
gone
did the
into.
castle.
I've done a bit of Stormvale Castle, but I'm just like
I haven't done the swamp. Like I've teleported around like the swamp, leading up to the academy and whatnot, and like I've gotten a handful of
I've
bonfires.
done a little bit from there. I haven't done a huge amount.
Yeah, so like let me
Um,
know when you want to do that, and we can go and bump around that area.
like one of the things is I went to Caelid and fucked around in there because I was like, I'm getting Flame of the Red
I
Mains
haven't done
early.
any Caelid yet.
No, I literally just went there to get Flame of the Red Mains.
Fair.
It's, you know what? If something is going to be bullshit towards me, I will be extra bullshit towards it by spamming Flame of the Red Mains.
Fair.
I've also started out Blythe's quests so that I could get EG to sell me that talisman that reduces the FP cost of weapon arts.
Don't follow, but I'm sure it makes sense.
So EG will only sell that talisman if you've met Blythe. EG's the giant blacksmith that you can meet.
Oh, okay.
And if you've met Blythe and you tell him, he will sell you the talisman that reduces the FP cost for weapon arts. That mix of Flame of the Red Mains means that if you any of the enemies that you and once you get the Sterillian Assassin's Dagger or whatever it's called, once you get the two of them, it allows you to Flame of the Red Mains a lot of the enemies, staggering them immediately with just one,
Fuck you,
and
dragon.
then
Fuck you.
the
Fuck
riposte
you and your goddamn dragon butt.
the riposte will be enough
Do you
to
win?
give you back your FP.
Yeah, I won. Frost dragons. Gotta hate them. Sorry.
I had beaten him in my first file once I had kind of already become a bit overpowered. So he really wasn't a problem for me.
I am not overpowered, unfortunately.
I just Flame of the Red Mains them a whole bunch.
That's what I did. But I had the
Yeah, that's
jellyfish.
fair. I just used my horse. I'm just like, okay, let me
I
just trot up next to its leg and just bleed it.
Oh, by the way, as if a dragon has more than 2 wings, Flame of the Red Mains does not work reliably on it.
Really? It was 2 hits every time on the frost dragon.
Yes, the Frost Dragon's still a regular dragon. The what I'm
Has two
referring to is the
wings.
Ancient Dragons. The Ancient Dragons are typically white and they have 4 wings, and those guys, if you try and Flame of the Red Main spam on them, it pretty much won't work.
Gotcha.
But yeah, no, I've definitely cracked down D&D wise in this setting and started focusing more on like the local area.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, you guys could cross around the mountains and go to that desert where Bialba is, or north of it, where Braxton is, or even to the capital.
I kind of
Or
like the
like,
idea of having like just leaving that desert for as long as possible as like just this is kind of a mystery, you know?
yeah, Yeah, which is completely fair, and that's kind of where it is for me too. That's why I'm gonna stop working on it. And then of course there's a desert to the north that you guys could go to as well. On the other side of that is of course the Blood Harbor. If you wanted to cross over the mountains, there's Moorwind's Pass, or if you wanted to head north around the mountains, you'd risk coming under attack from this brigand lord named Kalir. Like, there's definitely content if you guys wanted to leave the area, but I have put together a local area hex map, so there is plenty of stuff for you guys to do if you just like stay where you are.
There'll be
So
massive dicks and decide to just like run off in a direction you haven't planned for.
I'm not sure that's possible at this
we're
point
going
in time.
we're
I've
going
done
for a
a
beach episode.
it because like the only way I could think of you guys getting far enough away that I don't have any content for period and couldn't like at least simulate and stall with rollable tables if I had to would be if you guys were to like teleport across that map to somewhere completely unpredictable. But if you're stumbling upon that kind of high level magic, odds are like I know the location and you're fine anyways.
We want to teleport to a different plane.
Yeah, unless you guys have wild magic that activates and does something ridiculous like that, I think you guys are fine.
All right. So,
And then, of course, south, there's this little dwarven town, and then the ruins where that dragon is waiting for someone to bring him a necromancer are down
As he
there.
wants to bring back his lost love.
And then even further south beyond that, there's the Doom Wall, where the necromancer Rothnir and his forces reside on the other side.
The Doom Wall, also known as the Wall of Doom, sometimes referred to as the Wall of Ill Omen.
Sometimes revealed as fuck that shit.
Some know it in the ancient times as the No Wall. No, no,
No,
no, no,
no, no,
no.
no, no. No, this is actually modern history. I do have a lot of the ancient history as well, but the reason why I'm so like casual about talking about the Doom Wall and Rothnir and like is because like that happened like less than a fucking year ago.
Yeah, you gotta remember my character's only like 5 years old.
Yeah. No, that's fair. Like I'm not saying you know
Ancient
about it.
ancient history to him is not the same.
I'm just saying that like yeah, no, you guys knew that at least tangentially in the background. I don't know if people want to like eventually make characters like, "Oh no, I was a war veteran. I fought in that battle," that kind of thing. Like people could do that and it'd be more than reasonable. But like no, at this point in time it's just background dressing. Like the past few years there was this big bad necromancer that kind of tried to cut in line and challenge the emperor early, and the other lords were not having any of that and drove him back to the far south coast to a little isthmus. But along the way, of course, as their people died, his forces grew, being a necromancer and all that. That combined with him erecting what's become the Doom Wall, um, which also caused a ridiculous amount of more casualties and thus more power to the necromancer and his forces, uh,
Yeah.
means that he now does have the forces to, I guess, wipe the rival lords off the coast and go challenge the emperor. The problem is he hasn't done anything yet. And then the further problem is why? Like, don't look a gift horse in the mouth. Like, this is fine to have this Cold War type situation, but like, he won. Why is he not actually doing anything? It's just got like everyone on edge, and I think
Like,
it's a
joke's
fun
on
little
you,
area.
idiots.
It's like, why is he just sitting there behind this wall?
are you
Why
talking
is he
about the
sitting there
Carrion filigree crest,
ominously?
Leo?
The what?
The Carrion filigree crest lowers
Yeah,
FP consumption of skills.
yeah,
But then I also wanted a reason to have like the jungle area beyond the isthmus to be unexplored and untamed and unsettled, and this also like let me do that
yeah.
in case anyone like wants to go beyond the Doom Wall and just go into like a completely wild region, because it's always fun to have campaigns that do that.
Okay, not to interrupt the D&D
Hello.
talk for like 3 seconds. Leo, did we complete all of Nokrin?
I don't recall what we've done there.
Okay,
Um.
what were we doing last time? Oh, that's right.
Oh
The
wait.
the mimic tier.
we got the mimic tier. We didn't.
Did you get the special
Whoa.
sword for the witch?
The
What?
The special sword for the witch?
special sword for the witch.
Yep.
What are you talking about?
I'm pretty sure it's underneath the giant on his chair.
Oh. Oh, yeah, yeah. I know what
Are you
you're
talking
about.
about Encel River?
No, not in Cell
I
River.
don't think so.
No, I know the thing you're talking about now. I can't remember if we did that or not.
I don't.
There
Okay.
was
'Cause that's really all that's important down there. Is the mimic tier is great to have, and then also like yeah, if you want to do that quest line, there's that special item.
I guess I need to go see Ronnie because EG's still talking that I need to complete Nokrin City.
you need to. So I'm trying to think what we need to do there.
Because if I get bored of this quest
Um,
line, I'm just gonna.
So I guess it depends on how far you got into the quest line. But at some point in time, Ronnie's just like, yeah, I need like this sword of severing or whatever. I don't remember what it is. And it's in
it's
Nokron, so go fetch it. So
it's like
hopefully you fetched it.
fuck, what's it called? Yeah, you need to do that because you need to do her quest to get the Rune of Death to do Fia's quest.
So it's not a good
Oh,
thing just to kill her.
I did Fio's quest without doing Ronnie's quest. I don't think you
Yeah,
need
but
to do Ronnie's quest.
you need to get the Rune of Death to do it. And
Oh,
Ronnie's
I,
quest
I I got
causes
the Rune of Death without
yes.
Ronnie's quest.
But I'm saying if you're already doing Ronnie's quest, you might as well, because it will get the Rune of Death along the way doing that.
Yeah, that's fair.
It also means that you have
There
options
are some
for
areas that
enemies.
parallel each other.
Bitch,
Well,
I said fucking talk to me. I should fucking
oh yeah,
kill you.
Derek, we went up to Fia's area and we had to do the fight Fia's Simps. You know
Sims,
where
come
it's like
on, let's go.
yeah, it's like it's like champion of Fia and then like Roger and then two champions of Fia and Fat Boy.
Yep.
And it's like the first attempt we were slapping, but I ended up having to fight the two champions while he was fighting the Fat Boy at the end.
Yep.
Which obviously like I went in trying to spellcast, so like that was tricky. Second attempt, we got shit on because Roger absolutely fucking murked us both. Third attempt, I think it was considered a hate crime. We
Excellent.
absolutely fucking annihilated them.
Yeah, I don't think I got the Sword of Severing.
No, I didn't.
Yeah, it seemed like he didn't.
Yeah, I forget where it is. I know that there's something important underneath the big statue man, or does it? No, I think there's just a teleporter underneath Big Statue Man, right?
It's
don't
been
remember.
quite a while since I've done that stuff.
Listen, Dragon, I'm sorry, but you gotta die.
Yeah, regardless, there's definitely something down there you missed because it's that key item. Where the key item is, I don't know. Yeah, maybe I'm remembering wrong.
Maybe it's in Nokris, not Nokron.
Hey, where'd you go, you fat fuck? Get back here.
The
Or maybe
dragon
we were
disappeared.
in Nokris.
The dragon ran away.
Maybe Nokris was the friends we made along the way.
Nah, it's just vibing. Just stomp tromping him in the other direction. It's just going for a little walk.
I love finding corpses in areas I've been to a million times that I haven't actually looted.
Yeah. You know, get to kill dragon.
I'm trying to decide if I want to go.
Does that dragon ever come back, Leo? The magic dragon?
You kill it down in the swampy area, I think. There's like an area and it's like swampy area and then there's lots of crystals and then the dragon appears there, I think.
Okay. I just didn't find it.
Because I do
I
have
think
the
I know what you're
upgraded
talking about
glintstone
because
breath.
there's some crystal guardians down there. Yeah.
Yeah, I have the
They're
upgraded
special.
glintstone breath, so I assume I killed that dragon.
I gotcha.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I've started doing like a magic build.
We did that. Did that.
I guess not
So
really a magic build, a gish
the
build.
only thing we needed, I think, the only place we haven't seen Leo it down there is the city itself, like over there to the left of the ancient wood.
Um, maybe,
Yeah, because
maybe there. I think there might have been more that we didn't do there.
All right, let me go back to my notes, make sure I finish those, and then I'll probably hop in the game. But yeah, no, I definitely know the ancient history of the local area. If you guys go somewhere else, I'm either gonna have to improvise, or you just won't find the ancient history eventually because I'll need to rewrite it, that kind of thing. But at the very least, like the modern intrigue for a lot of the areas you could go is there, right? Like Braxton, Bialba and their rattlers, the Blood Harbor, their ever bleeding priests, and the current war for the Bloodlord throne. Like there's all sorts of political intrigue there if people cared about that.
Would the rattlers be offended if I was trying to rub my beak against their bones?
I think they'd be a bit weirded out, but you are strange, and they will probably. I guess depends on their temperament. Some would probably assume the best, like, oh, this is probably some kind of like welcoming gesture by this bird person. I'm sure this is totally normal in their culture. And then others would probably be like, what the fuck is this? No, stop it. Don't like.
They're having a conversation, just rubbing my beak against their bones.
Yeah, yeah. I know what you're getting at. Sharpening it, preening it, making sure it's kept in good health, like a cuttlefish bone.
Yeah.
Bear, I've come to bargain.
Sorry?
I don't know. He scares me sometimes.
No, there's this bear that kept killing me the last time we were down here, Leo.
Oh,
And
that
I've come
one,
to
yeah.
bargain.
Two Flame of the Red Mane should knock him on his ass. Yes, Flame of the Red Mane is overpowered. Get at me. Man, I love the look of the two curved swords together.
I finally found that ice axe that used to be overpowered.
There was an ice axe that was overpowered?
Yeah. It had like some kind of rhyme AoE attack that people were using for like speed runs because it was
Prince
like the
of
most powerful
Death
weapon.
Assist? The fuck are you?
What's the axe called?
I don't know. But it comes to like a sharp point despite being an axe. It's got this
yeah,
cold
yeah, yeah.
damage theme to it. It's in like the lake slash swamp area next to the academy.
I don't think I've gotten that one yet, but I know the one you're talking about.
Oh,
Yeah.
So
I
I'm
have
looking
that
through a
one.
list of weapons you got.
Yeah, early on launch, people were like talking about that, and it was like, "Oh yes, this is like the best weapon in the game." And I'm like, "I never found it. Cool." Well, I finally found it.
Have you got the Cinque Dea yet?
I don't think so.
Do you know the Bestial Sanctum?
Is that
Yeah.
the thing you got to go behind in order to get it?
Yeah, you got to go behind the Bestial
Okay.
Sanctum and like drop down a shitload. It feels like you have to drop down like way further than is reasonable to get it,
Yeah, no,
but
I never found that.
it's a dope looking dagger.
Yep.
It's a cicada.
Okay, yeah,
No,
I've
it's a
got,
Cinque
I've
Dea.
got enough written for D&D that I feel confident that I could run. I do want to. I'll definitely have to like take a break at some point in time to do a bit of prep work. But I'm also assuming we're not going to sit and voice call for like literally another what?
6 hours.
Fucking
9 hours?
yeah, exactly.
Well,
I'm
you say
assuming there'll
that.
be a window of time where I can slip away and do a bit more work.
Oh no, because every time you're about to, I'm gonna get you talking about D&D lore
Ugh.
Yeah, no, I
or
think on
making
the
a
grand
character with
scheme
me.
of things, I'm good to go. I just need to prep like the actual content.
Dungeons and dangly bits.
Alright, we're gonna go fight the boss in the frozen area, I guess.
Boss in the frozen area? What? Which boss?
Oh no, I'm at Flame Peak and I'm running by a whole bunch of birds and shit.
They're in. Okay, I know what he's talking about.
Oh, yeah. The big boy.
Let me know if you want me to put my sign down anywhere for you guys.
I'm still being fucking followed. God damn it.
I still don't know how to handle his phase 2. Because usually, like, my little summon just does that for me.
Okay, why was I kicked off my horse?
Because you're getting invaded.
NPC invasion?
Yeah.
Okina.
Okay, na. Na 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 na. Okay, na na.
I definitely still need to get around to consolidating my lore. I think what I need to do is have there be like a master doc with a bunch of links to like
Oh!
smaller docs.
Rivers
I
of
Because
love
Blood.
master docking.
yeah, because scrolling through the doc that I do have for the campaign, it is 15 pages long already, and very scattered. Um, and then I also have like a hidden chat on the actual D&D campaign server where I jot down notes, and I've actually written a lot of lore um in there. And then on top of that, there's also a bunch of stuff in like the actual lore chat and in notes and loot, and I think character pitches as well, that also aren't on like that 15-page doc as well.
You're a
And so
very
between
organized individual, Derek.
yeah, between those three locations, there's a lot of information and lore that isn't organized at all. Um, that I need to put into like categories and consolidate, and then put each of those have each of those little organizational things, give it their own doc, and then have a master doc that links to it. I think that would be in my best interest at some point in time if I want to keep all my world building and lore straight.
Yeah.
Because right now it's just like, all right, cool. I have a lot of lore written, but do I remember it? And can I find it with a timely amount of time to in session when it comes up? Like for example, the name of the Reeve. It took me way too long to find that, and I just didn't end up doing it. I did find it. Let me see. Uh, I do like the idea of keeping his some aspect of his name Urs, because I think reverse is a stupid pun. But I did find his actual name, and so it's like, okay, yeah. So he's Reeve Urs, and then whatever that is. As soon as I find it again. Oh, that's right. There's a fourth area where there's lore that doesn't appear anywhere else, and
his
it's
name is
in the Roll20.
his name is Reeve Urs. Backup.
There we go. No. I went to go and update the little quest log, and that's where I found that. Oh, that's where I put his name. There we go.
It's a pain in the ass having
Yeah.
to like
So his,
go
his
through
first
the.
name is Garile, and then his last name is going to be Urs. So now he's Reeve Urs.
It's genuinely really fucking annoying when there's like a single item that I need to get, and it's like often just boohoo fucking nowhere.
Yeah.
Oh, it's such a pain in the ass.
Nah, I get you.
Do 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 do.
So I written and updated that quest. So if you guys need a refresher, that's there.
Bird, go fuck off. I don't care
I
about
don't
you.
think I'm missing any of the quests so far you guys have found. No, that's fine. That's fine. And you guys might take downtime and pick up more stuff. You guys don't have to take downtime, but it sounded as though there was some interest.
There may or may not be plans regarding things to do with downtime.
Yeah. As you probably picked up, I'm okay with exploitation within reason. If I can think of a way for it to backfire realistically, I'm not gonna go out of my way to like dick you over, but it was just like, no, that wouldn't work because this would happen, or this would happen, or perhaps some other faction would take notice, that kind of thing.
Mhm.
So like, I'm okay with you going for exploits. Just know that like it's not just gonna always go your way all the time. Like, it might go your way 90% of the time, but I will eventually clap back in some way or form.
That's where turning the people who are trying to kill you for muscling in on their business and getting other people to believe that
That's
they were
fair.
actually,
Those assassins, they have daggers, and you can sell those daggers.
Well, I mean, assassins come after you, you beat them up, and you kind of tie them up, and you're like, guys, you're being paid to kill us. But imagine how much money you could make if you're killing the guys that we're taking all the money from.
Oh, giant
'Cause
hand!
we've got the money, not them.
The question
Just
is, do you?
it doesn't matter if we actually do or not. It just matters if they think we do.
Yeah, exactly.
Because then we go like, come on, who hired you? Like, who was it that told you to come
I'd
and
say
do this?
be careful. Sometimes being clever, you can end up being too clever for your own good.
Good.
You also might not actually know everything or hold all the cards, and
So we're not gonna get our own hands dirty. Come on.
yeah.
Mm.
I'm
Get
just saying
on,
that not
get
not
on the
every
good side of
threat can
enough
be
people.
talked down or recruited. Some threats you actually have to deal with.
Yeah, but you gotta get enough friends in enough positions that you can pretty much get away with doing horrendous things on your private island.
Yes. Yeah,
We're gonna
yeah.
have a
You guys
private
could go
island?
about trying to acquire an Epstein Island. Absolutely.
Epstein Island? I don't know about the sound of that.
I mean, both of our characters were men of the cloth.
Oh no. I was making a joke. I didn't actually expect you guys to go with it.
No, I do not wish to partake in an Epstein Island.
What are the perks of having an Epstein Island?
Depends on what you want to use it for.
um, do I have to? I can't say it on
It also
stream.
depends on how you get to it. Because the sea god is a threat, and I don't think that, like, by boat is going to be a very viable route.
Ah, that's where you're wrong, because it's an island in a lake.
Giant cauldron.
That's
You
fair.
can't do
Oh, are
anything,
you
sea
okay, dude?
god,
Who the
because
fuck are
this
you?
isn't the
Fire
sea.
giant?
Yep.
Please tell me you have a sled.
Holy fuck,
That
sorry,
is not a sled.
Let me try and refresh it. Because hot damn, apparently. Okay, yeah, stream was a biggie. Because you just entered the boss arena as far as stream goes when I refreshed.
Alexander can help you with that boss fight.
So that's gonna be at least like 10 seconds behind.
Apparently Alexander makes that boss fight much easier.
Which one's Alexander?
The jar.
Oh!
Yeah, pothead.
Yeah, I never did his quest line, so he's never been available as a summon for me.
I broke his questline somehow and got to the point where I could kill him and all, but I couldn't do the full thing with his nephew.
Okay, he doesn't take
I'll
any
go
fucking
over.
damage. How the fuck am I supposed to beat him?
You'll figure it out.
You have to kill him.
It might take a few tries, but you'll figure it out.
It's a gimmick fight, and the gimmick is you have to do more damage to him than he does to you.
You're not technically wrong. There may or may not be other gimmicks, though.
Okay, so that's not. I can't go up to the big thing over there.
Right. At least you get a good amount of gold fireflies in this area, so it's not actually that bad of a. That's not bad of a problem.
Got Carville's Ruins marked. Yeah, I think I've also labeled all the stuff that you guys know about. Oh, I still need to name a lot of, like, the local woods. that needs to be done. Ah, it's fine. I can do that later.
Here we've got the wild woods, and here we got the tame woods. The tame woods are the wild ones, and the wild woods are the tame ones. You see, they used to be different. Then we just decided to not look after that one anymore because we thought we'd tamed it well. Well, unfortunately, when we turned our attention to the wild woods, the tamed woods became the wild woods again.
Yeah, I rather like this starting area. It's starting to come together real well.
Oh.
Oh, sweet, I can make 20 gold pickled foots. Perfect.
I'm also excited to see how the wizard responds to certain lore tidbits, especially considering that Jake is also playing the wizard.
Yeah.
Oh, good, you figured it out.
Yeah.
Figure what out.
Go for the ankles.
Oh, yeah, break his ankle.
Yeah. I was thinking about my favorite basketball star.
What?
This giant has an Achilles heel.
What? I don't get the references.
My
Me
my
neither.
favorite basketball star. He breaks ankles.
Who?
I don't know his name. I just know he exists.
Uh-huh. Oh, alright then.
Oh, I've also decided that not all the dwarves in this region are nice.
Hashtag not all dwarves.
Yeah, yeah. Obviously, like the ones at Forgefell, they're nice, but they're also very out of the way. So much so that they're not even on this initial hex map.
Wait, how come I don't
Um,
see Alexander's sign?
the
It's
hill
in one of the
dwarves.
entryways to the place, and you have to have been doing his quest.
I think I've been doing his quest.
The hill dwarves of Volman to the south, they're nice. But there's also a savage pack of barbarian dwarves in the hill lands.
Can we
In
befriend
this
them?
area. Probably.
Can we make the savage barbarian dwarves like us enough to be our muscle? Can we have 7 of them
I'm-
accompany us? Can we
I'm
have the
not
7
saying-
dwarves?
I'm not saying there can't be timelines in which you make them your allies, but that's going to require some work and probably resources.
What if I'm just really good at giving hand jobs?
I mean, that works for the males. You can recruit half of them that way.
I need 7 male dwarves. I will let them use my cloaca.
No.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure there's probably some real freaky ones in that group.
Yep. Then, also, I guess this would be common knowledge. Elves on this side of the mountain, anyway, are a rarity.
Okay. Seeing as Bird Person doesn't know much about elves or anything like that, he's probably just gonna call them humans.
Yeah. There's a reason for their rarity.
Genocide.
Maybe. We'll see if you guys get into that.
Elves being genocided is like my favorite fantasy trope. Because it involves lots of elves being murdered.
Yeah, and then I think I'm not just gonna like spew all the details, but in the ancient past,
Oh,
this
fuck off!
area was, I guess, yeah, it'd be the right term for it. Ruled by the dwarves. They were definitely the dominant race. Nowadays, there really isn't a dominant race. You could argue humanity, because this does fall under the into the territory of a human conqueror. But
Guys, we'll be right back. I'm taking a short break. And those who are watching, I'll be right back as well. Taking a short break. Ooh, I needed that. Alright, let's get the Discord. I'm back, guys.
Oh, Ash,
Yes.
you are stinky.
I believe
Got
it.
him.
Oh, I didn't change
Good.
anything, did I? Oh, I didn't.
Alright, I'm gonna start a faith build actually. And then go do that early game area wheel. What's the faith build one? Is it profit? Show attributes.
Alright. I had to take a breather real quick.
Breathing is forbidden. You don't need to breathe. Just choke. Suffocate. Perish. So Confessor's the other one with high faith. Alright. What's the big difference? Womp. Alright. Confessor's up to less face. More intelligence, but still just a faith.
Fire is not doing a lot of damage to this man. I can do poison build up too? Cold. gonna try something. I didn't realize I chanced up with poison. Yeah, so this is
So, yeah. A human settlement that is built upon ancient battle. But it's not like we battle with humans, so humans were left. And it's literally like, you know, they basically allowed there. It's the only place where like lost there. So the humans are like, what the fuck's that shit? They literally just like, nearby they did what they had to get by, regardless of how ethical it was. They were literally like taking the armor that these dead guys were wearing, and were like
A lot of what she was saying was literally Ramagon, like the starting area. The Valley is special because the battlefield was settled next to. There's a forest nearby, and they use such
they were literally like stripping the armor off of these guys and like turning it into like nails and shit so they could make the house over. So like you can imagine how repetitive. Yeah. And also massively disrespectful to the dead that isn't of their kind. Because, you know, they were struggling to get by. Humans were essentially second-class citizens, if not worse. And they kind
is almost at phase 2.
Ooh, let's hope we win this.
I didn't. Just
Oh.
give you a heads up, I didn't get there.
Would you like us to put signs down for you?
No, because this boss has enough health as is.
So like the houses themselves are like made from like the local wood, okay, whatever, but also like held together with nails of dead people's armor. Yeah, everyone in this place is going to always feel slightly like,
I get it. You're doubling down on the one
not like in someone an overt hurt someone to like the remnant power that those people like this spirits is not particularly happy with the fact that, you know, they were stripped down and they
Echoes dying.
yeah. Yeah, they all want to do it. They all want to have their it's not just about the concept of the burial. Like, they would have been fine with getting some burial if they were repentant. That's what they wanted. They wanted to do it. That's what they want. And now they're just, you know, the last that remains of them is fucking the nails holding together this person's shitty shack. Oh, not everyone. Not everyone. Especially when they're well, but that's not like the kind of propaganda that they use to get think of it how great of a hero you come back with open arms kind of thing.
Okay, second phase test. Why does he have a nose on his chest?
Why do you not have a Well, you got a problem with people who are nose chested?
He doesn't.
Well, maybe you need to be more open-minded and accepting.
Is he ripping off his leg?
Was kind of like foreshadow there's some armor design super early in the game. It's a nice touch.
You know, I think it's a really nice thing.
Does he give me the finger sword?
No. He gives you something even cooler.
Yeah, no, this
That's
cutscene
giant
is
eyeball.
fucking brutal.
Oh dear God. He's mad?
A little bit. Not Kyle's mad.
Give me your eye. Give me your eye. Gross.
I was trying to do a box fight. I didn't like it.
Got him. The Boobah help. Remembrance of the fire giant.
Yep. Boss weapon.
Good job, jellyfish.
Okay. I want to see if there's an advised place to farm for the gross messer.
Was that what?
Gross messer.
Oh, okay.
I kind of want to get two of them, you see.
Whose bed has your boots been under? Whose heart steel like thunder? Forge of the Giants. What did he get there? This is nice. So in order for me to do my poison playthrough, I gotta get the black whetstone before I do anything.
No, you just need to get a poison weapon art.
But the black whetstone will allow me to, because I don't have a poison weapon art anywhere.
There, you can get one relatively early, even a poison that's relatively early.
He gave me
There's one of them
180,000
now.
souls. How the fuck do I get to the center of this fucking forge?
You don't go around the left side of it, around the brim.
Do what?
Just go to the other side.
I did.
Yeah.
I've been on both sides already now.
Well, I think you're a liar.
I'm on stream.
Uh-huh. And I haven't seen you go to the other side yet.
Yeah.
Side of grace right here.
There you go.
Is this how I get first so I don't lose these. Oh, poison and bleed made it so fucking weak. Wait, I thought my AR didn't change. It did. Yay. So is that the only thing to do here?
Yeah, you'll figure it out. And you rested at the bonfire, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you'll figure it out.
Nope, we can't go that way. It's immediate death.
Why did they want you to go up here?
I have no idea.
You weren't? Okay. Who told you to go up here initially?
My head.
Have you cleared the capital yet?
The Erdtree Sanctuary and all that?
Did you fight Margaret?
Yeah, like, what's her face told me to head this way.
Well, there you go. All right. Well, what did she say?
I have no idea. I can't remember.
Okay. She said that the tree had a barricade that you could get through by burning it. And she
Yeah.
wanted to go here so that she'd be able to burn it.
But she's not here.
Is she?
I'm almost certain of it. Like, I don't see her anywhere. Unless I was supposed to talk to her at the Grace.
How do you normally? Yeah, I was gonna say, how do you normally contact her?
Last time she just kind of appeared.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't even paying attention if it even said talk to me.
That's fine. You eventually figured it out. Just took a little bit of prodding.
Leave me alone. Talk to Melania.
I have long observed the lands between. This world is in dire need of repair, and death indiscriminate. Are you prepared to commit a cardon? Very
I'm ready.
well. Let
Fuck
my
it.
hand rest.
I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm ready.
She made me sleepy.
Go fuck to sleep. It's time to commit sacrilege.
Oh, her hands are scarred up. Why is she
O Erd Tree, you shall burn. Burn for the sake of the new Lord. Thank you for guiding me here. The one who walks alongside flame shall one day meet the road of destined death. Goodbye.
Oh, that sucks. She leaves me? I'm sad faced. I like
I
her.
wouldn't say she left. I'd say she died.
Listen, it's better saying she left than she died.
What one implies a betrayal of sorts, an abandonment. The other one is more I followed
where
through
the
my
fuck
duty
am
and I
I at?
sacrificed myself so that you could go into safety. There is honor in one and cowardice in another.
She left me. Where the
Fuck you.
fuck am I at?
A cool place. One of dragons and tornadoes. Gravity defying bullshit.
Oh, smithing stone. Crumbling Farah Azuma. Is there like a site of Greece I can get to? Shit. Okay, come over here. Got it. I like his weapon though. I think that's where we're going to stop for today, everybody. Thank you so much for joining me. I do have a couple of things I got to go do today. I hope y'all enjoy it. And like always, I'll see y'all in the next one. Bye-bye.
Bye bye.